Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George, or all George. So happy Saturday. Of course, today I got a lot to talk about, including, of course, bullish cases for Bitcoin and why so many are buying. Massive buying going on. And, of course, there are updates I want to share with you about Voyager, about Celsius, some other project that revealed they had exposure to Three Arrows Capital, right? So I'm going to cover those things and much more. All right. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com for all the latest guides. And make sure you follow the brand new Clips channel for short content. All right, guys. Welcome. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic today. Bitcoin is doing fantastic, still holding at 21.6. It's actually holding at a pretty, I wouldn't say important resistance, but our local top is right around here. You could see 1, 2, right? We're right around our local top, and Bitcoin is just hanging there. But if it could break through, man, there's a big gap all the way up to about 28.6. So that is something we could look forward to in the near future. Right now, Bitcoin is definitely strong, and I'll get to the reasons why it's strong. But there's just a lot of bullish cases for it right now. Okay, like for example, I saw this, and first glance, you're like, okay, what does this have to do with Bitcoin? Well, Sri Lanka's prime minister. His house was just take a look at it, right? You have thousands of people storming his house, and basically they're angry over the economic crisis that they are facing right now, and it's the worst in 70 years, right? Like many countries out there, because of inflation, supply chain issues, the war, high energy prices. I mean, you name it, right? It's around the world. And the people of Sri Lanka is like, no more. We need something better. This is the exact reason why Bitcoin was created, right? Because distrust in governments and federal banks and banks overall. Distrust in the people in power that sometimes seem like they have no clue at what they're doing, right? This is a prime example why Bitcoin was created after the last big recession, the 2008 housing bubble, right? So this is a bullish case for Bitcoin. You know what else is a bullish case for Bitcoin? Take a look. Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff, we know recently, his bank was taken away from him. He couldn't sell it, even though he said he had a buyer. They won't allow him to sell it. A lot of investigations over his bank, whether there was money laundering and tax evasion and all this stuff, right? Someone asked him clearly, will you sell your bank for Bitcoin? And he's like, yes. Yes, I would sell my bank for anything a regulator let me sell it. My main goal is protecting customers, right? So he even recognizes, yes, I would rather, because he's been such a Bitcoin bear, I would rather sell my bank even for the one thing that I hate and loathe, and that's Bitcoin. Because you know why? Because getting Bitcoin is better than getting nothing. You get Bitcoin, yes, you can now sell it and protect your customers. You could do whatever you want with it, right? So, I mean, even Peter Schiff is now proving why Bitcoin is important, because it's your personal property, personal freedom. Can't be confiscated. Well, it can if they force you to. But if you're in control of your own keys, you are in control, right? If you magically forget your private keys, well, no one's going to be able to hack your wallet, right? And you can move it around anywhere. You can send it, receive it anonymously. No one knows, right? So there's so many use cases for Bitcoin, and they're all starting to come to light, one after another. And Peter Schiff, well, he's facing his own problems right now with his bank. But anyways, so want to lead off with those two things, but that's not entirely all the bullish cases for Bitcoin. But I want to lead off with those two things. What else is going on? Mark Cuban still in hot waters right now because of Voyager. Dallas Mavericks had a huge partnership with Voyager. So you could see if you use this promo code, you get, I think you get like $100 with the crypto or whatever. And he made us, it just seemed like there was a bigger connection there. But anyways, obviously not good for Mark Cuban right now and not good for Voyager at all, right? And the plan is to give people back proceeds from the 3 Arrows Capital, which is going to be zero, common shares in the new reorganized company, which could also be zero, and Voyager tokens, which could also be zero. So you're getting a whole lot of stuff that's zero. So that's the unfortunate thing. And you get a little bit of your crypto back from your previous wallet, right? That's what it sounds like. So it's an unfortunate situation. Now, today is the very first day in their bankruptcy hearing. So they had this, 20-page slide prepared for the U.S. Bankruptcy Court of Southern District of New York. And it says they still have $110 million of cash and crypto, probably gonna go to their creditors. $350 million in cash held from the people. Okay, not to be confused. This whole situation, don't get confused that it's covered under FDIC insurance. It's not. Only if this Metropolitan Commercial Bank goes under, but not because of this bankruptcy. You're not going to get anything from the FDIC insurance. They have $1.3 billion, so about $1.6, $1.7 billion worth of crypto and cash belonging to users right now that they hold, which they should distribute out, but there's large holes they need to cover, including $650 million from 3 Arrows Capital. But what's interesting about this is, and we already all knew this, what's interesting is, why do they not state that they still hold $377 million worth of crypto that they lent to Alameda Research / FTX / Sam Bankman-Fried? Why is that not listed in here? Why are they pretending like that money doesn't exist? So that's the thing. This whole thing is still weird. It's as if that has been converted to be part of the loan that Voyager is now taking back from Alameda Research, that $500 million loan, right? Like it just got jumbled in there or something. But why are they not listing? They have $377 million that they could collect from Alameda Research. They're purposely leaving their name out of this, and it's just really weird because this $110 million unless that $377 million is part of this $1.3 billion that they're counting on the platform. That maybe they're doing it like that, but obviously if they loaned it out, it's not on platform, so that doesn't even make any sense. You can't hide this stuff. People already know it. They're presenting at this court. Like, how can you hide it, right? So there's something missing here. That $377 million, there's something going on with it that they're not disclosing, and eventually, I guess we'll get to the bottom of it. But right now, it's just we don't know. Why is that not mentioned at all, right? It's like Sam Bankman-Fried pretty much went to Steve Ehrlich and said, "Leave our name out of it, no matter what you're doing." Something like that. I don't know. And as for Celsius, so some people asked about this, whether or not Tether had exposure to Celsius. Well, it turns out yes, but Tether was actually smart and took 130% collateral, so the loan was over-collateralized by 130%, and they did liquidate Celsius. So recently we saw Celsius pay back their Maker loan, but it looks like they did not pay back their Tether loan. And we don't know how much it was, but Tether confirms that they did liquidate Celsius, and they probably gave back the 30%, or the 100, the whatever's left over. But it doesn't hurt Tether in any way. So Tether just wants to say, okay, we're still good, but it does show that Celsius had more than just one loan, not just with Maker. They had plenty of loans out there, including one with Tether, which I had no idea about. And supposedly there's other ones that they have to worry about. So that's the latest with Celsius. But as for Tether itself, We don't know. We don't know how solvent they really are. I'm not trying to spread FUD, but that's been rumored for a very, very long time. And they're trying to do what they can to like do a lot of audits to reassure people and get rid of their commercial paper, stuff like that. Someone else, crypto exchange blockchain.com, they admitted that now they loaned $270 million to CryptosRUs, and yeah, they're going to try to collect that. This is why I say, like, when Voyager's trying to collect from CryptosRUs, they're going to get zero, because everyone is trying to claim against CryptosRUs, including now blockchain.com, which has been around for a long time. They're trying to collect their $270 million, and everyone else is trying to collect their millions, and it's going to end up being zero. I mean, so that's the thing. So yeah, there's it seems like every day there's more developments about so many projects that have been exposed to CryptosRUs, and unfortunately, it seemed like none of them asked for any collateral other than BlockFi. Even though BlockFi isn't in the greatest shape, but BlockFi did ask for collateral, so they're not facing with such a massive hit like some of these other guys. So there you go. And lastly, about CryptosRUs, it looked like they wanted to create a $100 million NFT collection, and they partnered up with Vincent Van Dough, and they launched something called Starry Night Capital, and it was a fund that was aiming to raise $100 million. Probably they wanted $100 million because they knew of the situation they were in, but yeah, that obviously didn't happen, and NFTs in there has dumped to less than 5 million now, and probably continue to dump. So obviously that's not good for NFTs either. It seemed like CryptosRUs just screwed like so many people in industries. It's just mind-boggling at this point. All right, what else is there? Well, going back to Bitcoin, right? I already presented two bullish cases for Bitcoin. Case in point, when countries suffering, people had enough. They want something better. Case in point, when your bank gets confiscated from you, right, and you want something better, you turn to Bitcoin. But what else is going on for Bitcoin? Well, a lot of people are looking at the DXY. Because whenever the DXY, the dollar index, goes down, Bitcoin and other assets tend to go up. And we know that DXY is at a really, really, really high point right now. It's at 107. Can it continue because of the Japanese yen devaluing or debasing, because the euro debasing, the UK dollar or British dollar debasing? Yes, so DXY can technically go higher. It has seen higher levels before, but the last two major dips came in 2017 and 2020, and we are past those 2 points right now. And you could see the last two times the DXY dumped down from their high levels. Guess what happened with Bitcoin? It went up to the moon, right? So that could be a driving force to get us up back to 69,000 and beyond. So bullish case there. And this is the one I used for my thumbnail. I think this is important. Bitcoin sharks, in this case, not whales, sharks. So anyone that owns between 10 to 100 Bitcoins, and I know a lot of you guys, a lot of British pound. Did I say British dollar? British pound. I know a lot of you guys do hold more than 10. A lot of you guys are still trying to get to your 1. That's a fantastic goal. I believe everyone in Bitcoin, everyone in general, should strive to at least get 1 Bitcoin, because I do believe at one point in time in the future, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, wherever, Bitcoin will be $1 million each. And just by having 1 Bitcoin will make you a millionaire. So think about that. But a lot of you guys have been accumulating over much longer periods, and you have probably 10 plus Bitcoin now, right? And you're considered a shark. You're not just a small fish anymore. You're a shark. And sharks have been accumulating over the last 5 weeks. Ever since Bitcoin crashed down below 20,000, pretty much at that point, sharks have accumulated over 52,000 Bitcoins. You do the math, that comes out to be over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? So a lot of DCAing and buying, not just at one time, but people are taking advantage of the low prices that we are presented with right now with not only Bitcoin, but Ethereum and many other crypto out there. Like Polygon recently has been doing very well. There's so many that have been really hammered and they're oversold, and so many are taking advantage, and this is the right way to do it, right? Of course, also bullish. And when it comes to buying Bitcoin, DCA, I always say DCA. What is DCA? Dollar cost averaging, right? Here's the best way to look at it. Why do you want a DCA on the way down, right? Because you get more for your money. So how much sats can you get with $100? Well, you can see over time. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, right? But obviously, you want the most bang for your buck. And right now, you could get a ton of sats with $100. Way more than, say, in 2021 and the dip levels of 2021, right? This is why dollar cost averaging works over a long haul. You're bringing your cost average down. You're not trying to guess bottoms or tops. There will be times that you pick up Bitcoin at a very low price. Sometimes not so low, but this takes the guessing out of it, and buying the dip, DCA when things are low, gives you the most bang for the buck. I don't need to explain that more. This is looking at long-term or short-term holders. A little bit confusing. I'm actually quite confused by this too as well. But no, honestly, what this is showing is this. Short-term holders, the people that have come in looking for a quick buck, they have all left. Okay, they're pretty they're done. In fact, short-term holders has never been this low in the history of Bitcoin, basically. That shows you how many people came in and left right away since 2021, right? But long-term holders is still holding, right? And previous times when you see capitulation days until bottom, right? So it depends on where you're measuring, but before there was 101 days. Another one was 61 days. Right now, again, depending on where you're measuring from, we're anywhere from 30 days or 44 days, right? So we're not actually far off from those previous times too. So again, bullish cases for Bitcoin. And then this is talking about the 200 weekly moving average, which is where we're hovering right now, but also 50, I think weekly or monthly. This could be the monthly moving average, which is the yellow line. And generally speaking, if you go back and you look at every time Bitcoin crossed that 50, then it pretty much went on a crazy run, with the exception of 2020 because of that COVID crash. But outside of that exception, the last two times when Bitcoin went above, man, it had a terrific run. So that is what we're looking for, but that's not going to come until Bitcoin is above like 40,000, okay? But who knows? Who knows? Could come much sooner than expected. And also, just a couple of Ethereum news. I mean, a lot of people are looking at Ethereum as well. I talk a whole lot about Bitcoin, of course, because Bitcoin is a big dog. It leads the market. It leads the way. But a lot of people are looking at Ethereum too and wondering if that recent 880 was bottom. And there's a lot of metrics that show, if you look at option traders and margin traders have turned extremely bullish, right? And you look at something like this, capitulation, because generally speaking, when you have massive capitulation, you see a massive sell volume. You can see that volume over here. That was extreme versus the volume back in May of 2021 versus the volume of March 2020, right? You could see whenever there's capitulation, there's a massive sell volume, and that is exactly what we just saw. So could be that 880 for Ethereum. I didn't even know it went down to 880. That was I must have missed that down wick, but yeah, that could have been bottom too. And you know what? This is just a lighthearted graphic, comic, whatever. Bull market, everything is good. Crash, it seems like everyone is fearful and getting out. Then in the bear market, people are building, and then in a bull market, then you get better again. So That's basically what is going on, with the exception of right now, there's not a whole lot of building. It seems like the only two companies that the building is really the big exchanges like FTX and Binance, but everyone else kind of struggling. But this is, I actually take that back. I was just looking at exchanges and platforms, but really, if you look at a lot of the crypto projects themselves, the ones that are still building, yeah, they're going to come out of this, and they're going to come out stronger than ever once we recover. So no doubt that is going to happen. And one of the projects has to be Matic. Matic Polygon has reached 150 million addresses today, and you can see that did not dip at all. And that's because there's so many projects and NFTs coming on board Polygon, so I definitely think they're one of the ones that's building right now and will come out stronger. And since there's so much FUD around CeFi right now, DeFi was still very important, and Aave is arguably the biggest DeFi project now. And they're introducing, or they're proposing to introduce, their new GHO stablecoin, which, in their opinion, will help their overall ecosystem, help users. This will be collateralized. You put down collateral to mint GHO if you wanted to, and of course, you could use that for many other purposes if you wanted to. So that is what they're also building at this point. All right, that's pretty much it. Lastly, has nothing to do with crypto, but big news. Elon says, no more. I'm not buying Twitter. And Twitter is upset by it. Twitter is going to sue Elon saying, no, you have to buy us no matter what. And this will be interesting. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. BTC dominance actually went up almost a full percentage point since last week. So BTC definitely is a little bit stronger right now. But if you look at the last 7 days, well, Ethereum is actually a little bit stronger than even Bitcoin in the last week. But there's many others that's quite strong. Solana is coming up in a big way. BNB, double digits last week. You have Avalanche, that's 22%. Polygon, 25%. Uniswap. DeFi is probably going to get a lot hotter now because of all the CeFi issues, right? So there's several. Near and Cosmos, double digits for last week. A pretty good week. It's just a start, though. Just a start. Rich, if you kept your BTC you got from converting your Litecoin, do you think we would know you today? Would there still be me, CryptosRUs? Yeah, I think so. I was calculating how much I made. I don't think I made back then, because I mined for 3 months. I forgot how much I mined. It wasn't like thousands. It wasn't like thousands or tens of thousands. No, it was in the hundreds, I believe. So yeah, it was a lot, but it wasn't so much that I would have retired to an island or something like that. Have you heard anything from Luna and Doquan? No, and I don't even keep up with them anymore. I mean, he's out running away from authorities. I'm sure. Nothing good is gonna come from it. Did you talk about BIS permitting central banks to buy crypto? No, I don't even know. Yeah, I have no idea about that. Can I have a George NFT? Maybe. You gotta keep watching. I have not given any out recently, but I will. So you better watch every day, and you have a chance to win one. I can't wait to be a George again in the next bull. Don't worry. next bull run. Don't worry, it's going to come. 5K YOLO play for new Lambo. What you got? I don't even get that. I don't get it. CPI seems the only direction where the market is going. Obviously, the market is paying attention to inflation, right? But the last few weeks been pretty positive, showing that the traders are getting used to inflation, getting used to the fact that Powell's going to raise rates, and getting used to, or maybe not getting used to, but forecasting that inflation is going to start coming down, especially after the rate hike of this month. 75 basis points is big last month. It's going to be again this month. And then I think most Wall Street thinks that inflation will start coming down, especially since oil started coming down, which helps with energy prices, and supply chain issues should be getting better. So with these things all together, inflation should be coming down. So I think that's why markets have not been so bad recently. Any news on Harmony? No. None that I know of. No mainstream altcoin has achieved all-time high against Bitcoin in 2 consecutive cycles. Only exception is Dogecoin, and you got Elon there. That's an interesting fact. Well, I don't know if that's fact, but an interesting opinion / fact. Well, maybe it is true. I don't know if that's true. Well, I'll look into it, but I don't know. And I don't know how relevant that is anyways. Top Shelf Trash. George, I just wanted to say thanks for the show and love what you do. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Am I still bullish on Dogecoin? I don't believe I've ever was bullish on Dogecoin. I was actually quite excited when Elon was like going hardcore into it, but I don't know if I was ever bullish on it. I am more bullish on SHIB than I am of Doge. I'd much rather hold SHIB than Doge. Let's just put it that way. Are you familiar with DeFi developer 4X Shark? If yes, no, I'm not. I don't know who that is. No idea who that is. Polkadot versus Cosmos. I like Cosmos a lot more than Polkadot. Polkadot seems to have a few chains like Moonbeam and I guess Efinity. I guess that's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot else I hear about Polkadot. But Cosmos has a lot. They have a lot going for them. A lot of projects, a lot of chains. The only thing that they're really struggling with is DEXs. They don't have a lot of DEXs. Their major one is Osmosis, and that's it. They need a lot more DEXs. They need a lot more DeFi, and then they'll probably rise much more. So that's what they're missing. What wallets do you recommend? Trust Wallet, which is absolutely free. It's a mobile wallet, or Ledger. Ledger is a hardware wallet. So those two. But there's others out there. Those are not the only choices, but yeah, those two, pretty darn good. What are advantages and disadvantages using 1inch or other DeFi exchanges, say CeFi exchange like Gemma? Here, the thing is, I'm not bullish on 1inch at all. 1inch is not truly decentralized at all, because there's been time I try to use 1inch and it says, no, you can't do it because you're in the US. So 1inch is actually filtering what area you're from, and it will block you from certain areas from trading certain coins. So I got really turned off by 1inch because of that. So I don't really recommend anyone to use 1inch because of that reason. Now, as for other DeFi exchanges over CeFi, well, obviously there's many advantages because first of all, you control your wallet. You have to use your wallet like MetaMask or something to do trades. You're controlling it versus Gemini, which controls your wallet. So if you're using DeFi, they can't lock your, they can't stop withdrawals, something like that. So there's, major differences. But 1inch, I don't recommend anyone to use them. Have I heard of Furo Protocol and Chronos? No, I have not. They have no volume. This project is pretty much dead at this point. Not dead, but dead right now. So I hope these exchanges stop being so reckless. I do too. Okay, welcome. There's a lot of new members today. Welcome. If I missed ones before, welcome. Garth Soloway said only 50 coins will survive this bear market. That's absolutely BS. Absolutely BS. There are thousands of coins, and thousands will survive just fine. It's really hard to kill crypto, and I don't know if Garth lived through 2017. Probably not. After 2017, 2018, 19, 20, I thought, yeah, they're all going to die. No, they all came back to life. Some of the biggest projects now are the ones that people declared dead in 2018, 2019. Case in point, Cardano. Go look at where Cardano was in 2018, 2019. It was 1 cent. Okay, it was declared dead. Did it die? No. So that is utterly ridiculous to think, oh, only 50 out of 20,000 will survive. No, that's not right. Any updates on Vault? I have them all on BTC and ETH and Vault. I'm devastated. Do you think there's a chance? There could be a chance. Vault is not suffering due to Thrio's Capital or Celsius or anything like that. They were just unfortunate bank run happened. I know that they recently had some kind of Q&A or something like that, AMA, but I didn't listen to it yet. But just, who knows? Nexo is interested in buying them. Maybe they can save them. But yeah, that's the latest. Do you think Nexo is safe? Well, I just got done talking about Nexo. Nexo is trying to make it seem like they're perfectly okay. I think they're a little too brash and cocky about it. When Celsius went under, they're like, yeah, we'll buy Celsius. They didn't even know about Celsius's losses or anything. And then now they're saying, yeah, we'll go buy Volt, right? So I don't know. They're coming off really brash, like, hey, we got all the money in the world. I don't think so. Every single CeFi project, including Nexo, witnessed massive withdrawals. So I don't know. I don't know if they're any better than anyone else, right? So honestly, I just don't know much about Nexo at this point. But right now, it's definitely time to be careful. Be careful with your own funds. Be careful with your own crypto. It's really that's it. Feels like BTC could hit 25K soon. I also feel like that. Because I mentioned this before, and I'll end with this. 1 month ago, Bitcoin was still at 30,000. We were hovering in this range for a long time, and then we dipped down because I think that's when Celsius announced withdrawals, suspended withdrawals. So every single major dip, we had something like Terra's collapse, and then we had Celsius and all this stuff that happened, right? But think about us. We have so much money sitting at sideline. So many people like just left. But we're definitely in that situation where we came down so fast, we could just bounce right back up into this range, right? So that 20, I would say like 28 to 30, there's a good chance that that happens sooner than expected because we're starting to get more momentum. And then, you know, people that sold and panic sold, they're starting to feel the FOMO, right? And if they start putting in, I mean, we're going to get right back up there. There are so much money in stablecoins right now. They keep climbing. And plus, overall, just people in general, not just crypto people, but, you know, equities people, they're dying to put their money in too, right? So when we get like a somewhat of a sustained rally, I do think we have a really good shot to just pump right back into this range. And then we'll be much better for it. Rich, that is the right way to go about it. Faith in Bitcoin, but not just blind faith. That's why I show you guys all these models and metrics and what's going on around the world, right? It's good to have faith in Bitcoin, but not blind faith. But just look at what's happening, right? Look at all the governments around the world suffering because of the issues that they have created, economic issues. And you know what? This is the reason why Bitcoin is created. And Bitcoin not only created for that, to have a private network where no one can stop transactions, there's no middleman, there's no counterparties, nothing like that. Non-sovereign, you know, it's controlled by the people. Not only that, but as one of the greatest store values that we have ever known. I mean, if you look at the performance in the last 10, 11 years, nothing has come close. Nothing. Nothing has come close, right? So, believe in Bitcoin. Believe in Bitcoin. All right, guys. Have a good one. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.